that. Guys, stop me if you've heard.
Yeah,
this
let's talk about the
before.
Lakers. That's fine.
Well, they lost, and that's a story to the Suns. But by the way, it came down to the final seconds, 113-110. Grayson Allen with 28 points, 6 assists off the bench. Luka, stop me, 41 points, but his team still lost. DeAndre Ayton, 2 points, 4 rebounds in 21 minutes, 15 and 17 over their last 32 games. They are the losers of 3 straight, and last night might have been possibly one of their worst losses because the Suns didn't have Devin Booker or Dillon Brooks in their lineup. Laker Nation, they tend to get riled up pretty quickly, and they are not very happy right now. Chandler, I don't know what hope you had or what you still have for the Lakers, but talk to me.
It's not great, and I don't think contending championship run was ever realistic. But I do say I still think they are super talented. I still think they can be hard to guard, but. Man, they have so many holes. Like, defensively, they are so bad. Their bench has not been nearly as productive as I thought they would. They've been so up and down. Like, if you look at some of these statistics for their bench, they're pretty much dead last in all factoring categories, and it's just not impressive.
I mean, you could go down that stats on that, or
I mean, we're 29th in three-pointers made, 29th in rebounds, last in assists. Like, it's dreadful. So on top of that, you're not getting any help from your bench with a team with a 41-year-old guy in the starting lineup, where there's no real youth, there's no production coming off the bench. Then you have a heavy dose of Austin Reeves and Luka, which can be successful some nights, and it is because those guys are so individually talented, but it's just not translating to wins. It's the spacing is bad. It's just a lot of ISO and next guy up, and you get the ball. It's like a take-turn offense, and it's not great. And the Western Conference is too deep and it's too top-heavy. Like,
why are we sugarcoating this?
It's too good.
I'm conflicted. I'll say it. I'm conflicted because they do have a lot of holes. They do have a lot of inconsistencies. They don't get a lot of help from their bench. But they're still 10 games over 500. So if I'm a player,
in a good conference too, like they're playing
in a good conference. So if I'm a player, if I'm on the Lakers and I'm 10 games over 500, I don't care what Lou or Chandler has to say. I still feel good about my team because I'm 10 games over 500. But it's hard to ignore the issues that they do have. So, LeBron James said it. He didn't think they're championship caliber with the way that they're playing. And I thought that was a fair assessment, and I thought it was an honest assessment. And I think we should say the same thing. I think they're a good basketball team.
Good?
You're 10 games over 500.
But here's the
10
problem
games
with
over
that.
500.
Those 10 games they built up at the beginning of the year, they're 15 and 17. Like, they're on the wrong side of the track.
We can have different perspectives on it.
By the way, yes, I am a hater, but these are facts.
But mid to me is a 500 team. I'm 10 games over 500, so I really don't care what you say. However, there are inconsistencies. There are a lot. So when you're talking about a loaded Western Conference, when you look around and you can still be 10 games over, it's hard for me to just say they suck. But they do have a lot of inconsistencies. It looks like they're a team that's going to be on the fringe of being a first-round exit based on how strong.
It could be a play-in.
Be a play-in or a first-round exit team based on how strong the Western Conference is.
That's what I was going to say is yes, they've had some highs, they've had a lot of lows, and they again, offensively, they can be really, really good. It's just when you look at their possible matchups in the first round, I don't see them getting by any of those teams ahead of them. Whether they draw San Antonio, Houston, or Denver, it's most likely looking at a first-round exit. Look at all those teams ahead of them are better.
Definitely a play-in.
And Phoenix fully loaded with Dillon and Devin Booker and Jalen Green now, they're also probably better. So it is tough, and 34 and 24 is nothing to slouch. That's nothing.
That's a solid record.
But they built most of that when LeBron
record.
didn't play the first however many games of the season. They sort of built themselves some wiggle room.
Yeah, sure, but at this point we've blamed LeBron, we've blamed Luka, we're probably gonna blame DeAndre Ayton today. We've talked about Austin Reeves. They have their fair share of issues, but again, if just from a player's perspective, if I'm in a Lakers uniform, I still feel good about my record. It is what it is. That's just how I feel about it. But there's a mountain worth of inconsistency. So I can understand the Lakers fan base being frustrated because you want to see your team be consistent because you see the potential in how well this team could possibly be. But they just not stepping up to the plate and being consistent.
Let me ask you guys this. Truth serum, as players in that locker room, knowing how this record came to be, knowing how strong the season started, you didn't have LeBron for quite some time. Things have started to really go downhill since then, despite the record, because, again, you got wiggle room. You can honestly tell me that as a player in that locker room, you're thinking to yourself, yeah, we're all right? Or are you thinking we are headed in the wrong direction?
I'm not panicking, but I'm possibly lowering my expectations of actually thinking that we have a chance to win a championship. Right. If that was ever a thought.
You think somebody in that locker room still thinks they have a chance to win a championship?
Yeah, I think everyone does to a point. Like, listen, crazy things can happen. You can draw a Houston Rockets team and a guy goes down.
That's
and
true.
You never know. It is way too early to even think about that. But yes, I think this team has enough talent and enough offensive capabilities. They're a bad defensive team. There's no fixing that at this point. Yeah. 50 games into the season, 55 games into the season. They're not changing that. But they can maybe even change their style, maybe try and play a little faster, maybe even make them harder to guard than they already are, because they have enough talent to win games and make it tough for a team in a series in the playoffs. By
the way, I'm looking ahead at some of their schedule. They've still got a couple.
Yeah, and also again, it's just a standard that they've set. You go out and get Luka, you have LeBron James, you have a different standard than everybody else. Like, we're not saying that Golden State sucks. We're not saying Phoenix sucks. But there are teams behind them. You know what I'm saying? We're giving those teams the benefit of the doubt. So if you're the Los Angeles Lakers at 6, yes, I've lost 3 straight. Yes, I'm 11-12 in the last 23 games. But there's still some things to be positive about. Now, I'm not letting them off the hook and saying that they're, like you said, they're mid, right?
I think they're pretty mid.
Well, mid is 500. So if I'm 10 games over mid,
they're headed that way.
I still have some positive outlook on it. So listen, the gap is closing, the window is closing. If they can clean some of these things up, we'll change our tune. That's what I love about basketball. These things change by the day. If they can string together some games, we'll change that. But in the meantime, they are playing nasty basketball.
And also, just like the Knicks yesterday, there's high expectations. There's high media coverage when it comes to the Lakers, right? So if we were talking about like the Minnesota Timberwolves or even the Phoenix Suns or even the Warriors right now where they are, if they were 10 games over 500, we'd be like, not bad, like pretty solid.
Fair.
It's just the Lakers, and it comes out with LeBron and Luka and the trade and all the drama surrounding that franchise. There's expectations, and right now, 10 games over 500 clearly isn't good enough in our eyes. And you're like, you know what I mean? Like, and we expect more. We expect them to be one of the better teams. We expect them to be more consistent.
Also, because I'm not looking at 10 games over 500 and taking that at face value. I'm taking it with the context with which it deserves to be taken, which is that was gained early on. This is not where they're headed.
But we had this conversation weeks ago, and they still haven't lost the 10 games. They were over 500 then.
Do you think
they're still maintaining
in the next, however, 20 whatever game? Because Austin Reeves is even like.
I think they are what they are. They are a 6-seed team. They are a middle of a pack team. What are they fixing? I don't think.
Long summer.
There are players in that locker room, including one of the best and the icon that's there. He said it. We are not a championship caliber basketball team at this moment. But that doesn't mean that they suck. That doesn't mean that they're...
No, not suck.
No, I think they are who they are. They are in 6th place right now. That makes them a middle-of-the-pack team. I think that's who they are right now.
By the way, for the record, Lou, they are 6th, which means they're literally mid.
by having 12 teams.
Giving them mid.
But mid is 500.
I know, but
if you're 10 games over 500, you got to give that credit.
Okay, so you guys know we're headed. Thank goodness we get the summer off, because it's going to be very loud, I think, in these parts. And now I'm wondering, when it's all said and done, like, who's going to get the chunk of this blame? Like, where are we going to start seeing? Is it Pelinka? Is it JJ? Is it a specific player? Like, how is this going to end?
I think it's a collection of everything, right? It's Austin Reeves. They're going to have to make a decision on him. Like, first of all, he's going to get paid.
And it seems like they're going to keep
DeAndre Ayton, again, he's been in the headlines a lot, but he's not the issue. It's going to come down to either the GM, the coach, the star player, and that's Luka. No one's going to blame 41-year-old LeBron. No one's going to blame Austin Reeves, who's kind of this, unsung hero in a way that came out of nowhere, and now he's turning himself into a max player. It's going to probably be a lot on JJ, which is fair. He's the head coach. He's got to find different styles and systems and plays to make this team more effective. And Rob Pelinka's got to bring in better pieces that can shoot and that can defend, and get a deeper roster. Look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Look at the Spurs. These teams can go 10, 11, 12 deep. The Lakers can't. Their bench is really bad. They can't shoot. They can't guard. That's a recipe for disaster.
So that's where they're headed. By the way, the DeAndre Ayton, I do want to get into. It's kind of an interesting, funny, a little bit moment. He did finish with 2 points, 4 rebounds in 21 minutes. Let those numbers
bad timing
sink in.
For that game.
Not good timing once you said what you said. Minus 24 on the night. And so David
you gotta come back. You gotta come with something better than that after that.
I don't know if you've heard what he had to say, but DeAndre Ayton said about the Lakers, and I think he wanted to be heard on this. Quote, "They are trying to make me Clint Capella. I'm not no Clint Capella." Those comments landed exactly like I think you thought they would do, but not for. What was he thinking saying that out loud?
here's my perspective on it.
Okay.
When he says, I'm not no Clint Capella, I think he means he's not just a lob threat. He's not just a guy who's going to score off of getting offensive rebounds and putbacks from that. He wants to be featured. He wants to be a guy to put the ball in his hands. And when he was drafted, that was how he was perceived. He was perceived as a guy that you can give the basketball to and go out and get a bucket. Since then, he hasn't been consistent enough where teams have respected him to be able to throw the ball down to him in the post. And so I, from my perspective, I think that was the part of Clint Capella's game that he was trying to say that he's not. But he should be more Clint Capella. He should have more Clint Capella in his system, and that's fair to say. He should be a lob threat. He should be a defense first, a rim running guy, especially with the talent that he's playing with. You're playing with LeBron James and Luka Doncic, both very willing passers, guys that are eager to give a big the basketball. So you should be a lob threat. You should be somebody running the floor and putting pressure on the defense to run with you. And if not, get those dump offs. As far as them giving you the ball back to the basket, I just don't think that's how this team is built. So that's my perspective on the Clint Capella part, because Clint Capella is like a very talented player. There's nothing to sniff your nose at. So I don't know where he was going with that. Probably for lack of a better comparison, he threw Clint Capella out there, but I don't know. I'm not inside of his head.
Yeah,
I don't know what he was thinking, but that's my opinion.
I'll tell you this.
Why Clint?
When I heard it, I thought maybe he's got an issue or something.
Like personal.
Yeah,
like
Clint Capella just caught a stray out of nowhere. The facts are the facts. Clint Capella's best year statistically is better than DeAndre Ayton's best year statistically. This guy led the league, I think, in rebounds. He had 14 rebounds a game 2 seasons in a row. And he wasn't the number 1 pick in the draft. There wasn't expectations for Clint Capella when he came in the league. So I think that is where this comes from. That there's this pressure and expectation that when you're the number 1 pick, you're that guy, right? You want the ball. You want to get played through. You want to show your offensive package and show your entire repertoire offensively, really. That's not why the Lakers signed him. The Lakers signed him to be Clint Capella, to rim run, to block shots, to catch lobs, to go average 14 rebounds a game. Clint Capella averaged 17 and 13 one year and 15 and 14 one year. That's exactly what the Lakers need right now. So, again, I don't know if there's an issue with these guys personally. I like DeAndre Ayton. I think he can be so good. He has so much potential. He just needs to acknowledge and realize where he is right now in his career, what team he's on, and what the needs that team needs. Because it's not you play with Austin Reeves, Luka, and LeBron James. They're not playing through you. You're not getting the ball. You're not getting your number called ever. You were to clean up offensive rebounds, tip dunks, be active, play as hard as you possibly can every single night, and I promise you will have success in this team for the next 5-7 years. Like everyone needs a guy.
Like, do you think? Let's take it literally. Did JJ Redick say, "Hey, we want you to play like"?
It would be so funny if JJ Redick. It would be so funny if JJ Redick said, "Hey, be more like Clint Capella," and then he went and said that. I think I'd like him more.
I could see. By the way, I could see JJ Redick doing that.
The Lakers are 16-3 when he gets 10+ field goal attempts. So
those attempts. 5 of those are effort, Lou, and tip-ins and offensive rebounds. It's not like he's getting 10.
I'm on your side.
It's not like he's getting 10 ISOs.
I'm on your side. The numbers are the numbers, though. I'm just saying. But yes, he should be more Clint Capella. He should play in the short.
That's not an insult.
It's not an insult at all. It's not an insult at all. Whether it was an insult from DeAndre Ayton's perspective, that's a different thing. But being compared to Clint Capella, that's not an insult.
Just rebounds alone. Clint Capella went 8, 11, 13, 14, 14, 12, 11, 11 in his career, and 9. Yeah. That was a shitty year.
I can remember hearing, like, hey, we'd love to get a Clint Capella on our team. You know what I've never heard? I'd like to get a DeAndre Ayton.
Even points. This guy went 13, 14, 17, 14, 15, 12, 12, 12. Like, he is... Be him, and you'll play more, and your team will win more games.
And also, shout out Clint Capella, because he is not deaf or immune to this yesterday. You got 2 of the best floor generals in the game, my dog. Lock in.
I love it. I love today.
So maybe it's a thing between them, but yeah, being compared to Clint Capella is no disrespect.
That's not a burn.
That's not a slight.
At all.
That's not a slight.
At all. Oh, God. Okay. There's also, we're not done with DeAndre Ayton, by the way, because this also came out. Reported that the Lakers staff wraps his drinks in a little bit of tape and writes, DA's crunk juice. Drink this to unleash the beast.
There's Lil Jon and the East Side Boys.
That's just fun. That's just fun stuff to do. A lot of times different guys drink different things, and so they just wrap it. They just wrap it up with tape.
With motivational quotes?
Well, you wrap it with tape and you just have some fun. Like mine said underground upside down, but it wasn't like I didn't have crunk juice or CP's secret stuff like Chris Paul.
Secret stuff.
Yeah, Chris Paul, his thing was CP's secret stuff. And so it's just something to break up the mundane and have some fun.
Mine was, it was tequila soda.
Don't touch this.
No, but someone, remember like Space Jam, like Michael's secret sauce or whatever? Someone wrote like, I don't know, I forgot what teammate wrote.
Do you tell people what you want written on it, or does somebody just
like the equipment manager's right there. He wraps tape around it and he just writes something
But he's
silly.
the creative power.
Not necessarily. Well, if you're working with him every day, so he's probably, something probably was said, it was funny, or, you know, and they just write it down.
This is just, we're piling on now because the Clint Capella stuff and all the stuff he said.
He didn't drink it last night because 2 points is not unleashing a beast.
Or he did, and then he just switched up the cocktail.
It was not the right stuff.
Wrong levels. His levels were not right last night. But this is just silly stuff.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you guys know how this world works. Like once we start we've gotten a little taste of this, I feel like he's going to be the butt of a bunch of stuff now moving forward.
Just pay attention around the league. It's a lot more than just his crunk juice, I promise you. That's a lot of guys that got a lot of different...
And you know what?
I'm just worried because I don't think that his reputation is one to be mentally strong, and I'm worried that this is going to be a
problem. Is he not allowed to have his own crunk juice?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the critiquing. Like,
does he not qualify?
Here's the problem with
he can have all the crunk juice he wants.
Here's the problem. Can I tell you what the problem is, DeAndre? As the #1 pick, you want to be the man, you want to be played through, you want to score points. He, at this point, is an effort guy. He's an energy guy. And half the time I watch him play, he floats. He doesn't block out the free throw line. He gives up an offensive rebound. He doesn't do all the little things because he still has in that head that I'm the #1 pick and I'm the guy. And I think he's quicker he gets off of that and understands what the Lakers and what JJ Redick need. And again, this is starting to become a thing. Like in Phoenix, he had some issues, and then you go to Portland, like, he's making his crunk juice.
Crunk juice.
But like that, I just wish you would just buy into what he is and what the team needs him now.
My pen didn't work.
We need some Sharpies out here. Dang it, we'll get them in the break.
I'm just curious to see what you're going to write.
Rockets Magic, another game we had last night.